Did you find her? My mother-in-law asked, and there was curiosity in her voice when I returned to her house, looking like I'd just seen a ghost. I took a quick look at her, studying her face, trying to figure out if she guessed what had happened. But her eyes? Calm. I'm even a little tired. I don't think so, I muttered, gritting my teeth. But you should start calling me your daughter's ex-husband. She froze, like she'd been hit by a jolt of electricity. I didn't stick around to see her reaction. I just grabbed my stuff, threw it in the car, hopped in, and sped off. My hands slammed the steering wheel as I cursed, thinking, what the hell? Why did she do that to me? But let's rewind a bit. It all started with the fact that Tara and I had different vacation schedules. As usual, I was stuck at work, while she had a nice 3-week vacation. So what was I supposed to do? Sitting in front of the TV for 3 weeks in a row. When she asked me about it, she sounded pretty annoyed. I offered a bunch of options, like visiting my parents or enrolling in a clay modelling course, but Tara just brushed them off. And of course, her parents lived in the countryside. Fresh air, nature, no stress. It was like saying goodbye again in 8th grade. She advised me to abstain from drinking, monitor my diet, and oh yes, wash the pan with buckwheat porridge immediately after cooking. I swear, when you get home, there won't be any greasy porridge left, I promised, almost swearing. But let's be honest, pizza delivery. They were my real companions. For the first few days, Tara was calling every evening, gushing about how amazing her vacation was. She was having a blast lounging in the hammock, bragging about how she could sleep for hours without a care in the world. Then the stories started pouring in about berry-picking trips in the forest, working in the garden, and the scarecrows she made out of old clothes. Lily and I went to the river, and it's fantastic there, almost no people, and the water's crystal clear and warm, she told me. Lily, by the way, was her childhood friend who brought her little child with her. Everything seemed perfect. But then, out of nowhere, this guy showed up. I ran into my former classmate. Max, Tara explained, built a stable here. Max, I repeated, taken aback. Is this the same guy you almost married back in school? Yeah, she laughed. It was just a silly joke. Our moms used to tease us that we were getting married. It was all childish nonsense. So, you two just hung out for fun then? I pressed. Yes, a couple of months. He walked me home once, but that was it. Just harmless fun. It had been over 10 years, so I thought, no big deal, just an old classmate. But then, a couple of days later, things started feeling off. Then my mother-in-law dropped a little bombshell when I called her. Tara went to the horses, she said casually. She left her phone behind, and I didn't hear from her until late in the evening. Hey, did you call? Tara finally picked up, sounding a bit too casual. Yeah, sweetie, I called at 8, and now it's 12. Where have you been all this time? Lily and I went horse riding, then we went to her place and had tea. And who was looking after the kid while you were riding? I asked, trying to keep my cool. Well, he rode with us, Tara answered, a little slower than usual. Didn't you say he was afraid of horses? Well, he's fine now. They're kids. She stuttered, clearly fumbling for a good excuse. Something wasn't adding up, and it felt too weird to ignore. I couldn't stand it any longer, so I took an early leave from work on Friday and headed to the village. Is Tara in the stable? My mother-in-law asked when I got there. I didn't bother calling. I wanted to see for myself what was really going on. The stable turned out to be a massive complex, and by the time I got there, it was already dark, with just a few dim lights scattered around the area. I went in, walked down the hallway, and started hearing odd sounds. At first, I thought it was a horse giving birth, but as I listened more closely, I realized what it was. Familiar voices, not the kind of shouting you'd expect. I rounded the wooden partition and froze. There they were, my wife and some guy, sitting on a haystack. He was wearing nothing but cowboy boots. They noticed me right away and scrambled to hide, but it was too late. I had already seen everything. Without saying a word, I turned around and walked back to the car. "Well, did you find her?" my mother-in-law asked when I approached the gate. "I found her, but from now on you have to call me ex-husband," I said in a colder voice than usual. I grabbed my things and left, fists pounding the steering wheel all the way. Tara called me non-stop throughout the night, but what was there for her to say? I shot her a short text, "See you in court," and turned my phone off. So much for the one true love. I might have ridden a horse, but I definitely got it wrong this time. Let him enjoy the stable. He can do whatever he wants. As for me, I'll figure out how to move on.